The Inmates of Summer. Oh my god, this is gotta to be the worst SpongeBob episode ever. While waiting at the Bikini Bottom dock shipyard, SpongeBob prepares for summer camp at Sun and Fun Island in the beginning of the episode. Then all of a sudden, Patrick comes running to SpongeBob mentioning to him that he never told Patrick that he was leaving. They both start crying and hugging each other, completely missing the other campers board the boat to Sun and Fun Island, which takes off without SpongeBob, and the Inferno Island boat appears. SpongeBob asks Patrick to come to camp with him, not knowing they are going to prison camp. SpongeBob doesn't know very much about the camp, and thinks Sun and Fun Island is boring. The warden welcomes the prisoners to Inferno Island, but is assaulted through the sound of cheering from SpongeBob and Patrick. The warden gets so annoyed that he says that he feels like chewing somebody's head off, not literally. Patrick feels kind of hungry when the warden mentions it, and he gives SpongeBob and Patrick tires to eat. The warden and the others are impressed with both of them eating the tires. The warden has SpongeBob and Patrick digest the tires in a low, narrow hole with chum buried on top of them. 3 days later, the warden lets SpongeBob and Patrick out of the hole, but they do not feel like they've been punished since they thought it was an enjoyable soak. The warden feels so ashamed that he makes the activities very boring and difficult. Apparently, SpongeBob and Patrick think that the coal-breaking activity is fun and challenging even though they are wearing heavy ankle weights. SpongeBob comes to the conclusion that he and Patrick are having more fun than the other prisoners. Patrick suggests that they do a fun activity all together, then they would be having the same amount of fun as each other. This hatches an idea in SpongeBob's brain, so he works on a play all night. The warden finds the script and in the morning he yells at the prisoners to find out which one of them wrote the paper. SpongeBob speaks up and says it is a play for amusement and inspiration. SpongeBob builds a boat for the play to take place in. One of the prisoners notices that they could use the boat to escape. After the play, the prisoners attempt to escape from the island, until they realize that the boat is just a prop and is not real, leading them to sink. The prisoners swim back to the island, and the warden is now furious. Suddenly, the counselor of SpongeBob's camp comes to Inferno Island, to retrieve SpongeBob, who was absent from his camp. The prisoners, seeing their chance, all say that they are SpongeBob so they can be taken to Sun and Fun Island. The warden asks the counselor what kind of activities they do at his Sun and Fun Island. The counselor says that they make macaroni art, sing campfire songs, and help and support each other. All these activities frighten the warden, but it also gives him an idea. So, at the end of the episode, the inmates, prisoners, SpongeBob, and Patrick make macaroni art. Patrick confesses that he likes the other island better and so does SpongeBob, with the two still oblivious to the truth, and both of them start crying again. Wow, just freaking wow. That was the worst SpongeBob SquarePants episode ever. I do feel bad for SpongeBob and Patrick. So screw the Inmates of Summer, and screw how you see this snail. The best day ever is so many times better than the Inmates of Summer. End of rant.